Chapter 41 Finally Rising. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Walk west along Hehehe Road. After about 3 miles, the rickshaw came to a deserted grassland. When Lin Luo came here last night, he made a special observation. There were almost no people within a radius of hundreds of meters. It was a good place to destroy the body. Stop, here. Lin Luo called the driver. You go back, I will walk the rest of the way by myself. Although the driver didn't understand, he saw a silver dollar thrown by him and just thanked him repeatedly. Pulling the old car, he returned to the city without looking back. Soon, around the yellow haystack, more than a dozen figures came up. Lin Luo didn't leave, just stood there waiting. His 5 senses were far superior to ordinary people. When the first person just came up, Lin Luo looked sideways, and his feet burst out with powerful power. He crossed the distance of 50 or 60 meters in half a minute and appeared in front of the man, before the man could react. Lin Luo stretched out his hand to grab his neck and broke his hands. The heart-wrenching screams were all squeezed in his throat. Dragging this man, Lin Luo walked to an open place and waited for others to arrive. Before entering the dungeon, he put on the crow alloy combat uniform to prevent someone from shooting him secretly, even if he hit the heart. As long as it is not a full power or armor-piercing bullet, at least he will not die, including the one in his hand. There are a total of 17 people, who came out from all sides in sequence. When they saw the man in Lin Luo's hand, everyone's eyes were bloodshot. Swish. More than a dozen pistols were taken out in an instant, and the black muzzles were pointed at Lin Luo. Who are you? Do you know who we are? Let the people go quickly. You dare to attack the people of number 76, don't you want to live? That the crowd shouted in anger. In Shanghai, except for the special high section, number 76 is fearless. Even the police officers in the concession were afraid of the power of number 76, so they developed a character of looking down on others, facing many guns. Lin Luo chuckled a few times and didn't take it to heart. It was enough to know that they were from number 76. Wang Manchun probably suspected that he was related to Wang Fuchio's death, so she sent people to investigate. Lin Luo didn't care about other information and didn't want to know. He stretched out his left hand and took out a pistol. More than 10 bullets flew out instantly, accurately hitting the hands of the people holding guns, including those pistols. Their entire palms, as if they were blown up by a bomb, exploded. It wasn't until the blood splattered that the pain reached the brain. Ah! The cries of pain came one after another. Lin Luo sneered in his heart. Everyone screamed in fear and fled in all directions. But, for Lin Luo, their speed was not too fast. Soon he caught up with everyone and absorbed it secretly. There are 17 spies in total, all of whom have become Lin Luo's nourishment. The average value of a single attribute of an ordinary person is 10, 17 people, a total of 544 attribute values. The attribute panel of the virtual projection is expanded, omitted. Seeing his 4 attributes, Lin Luo took a breath of cold air. Sure enough, for low-star reincarnationists, the attribute value brought by quantitative change is far more than qualitative change. These are just 17 people. If I go to the special high section, in the pretender copy alone, I may be able to achieve a single attribute of over 1,000 according to the star classification of the reincarnation space. A single attribute of over 1,000 can reach the level of a 4-star reincarnation, but his current star rating is only 1 star. Total attribute value, 1,028 points. Lin Luo's eyes were red. Although he stood still, he could feel that there was a surging force erupting inside his body. Even his skin began to feel a little hot, and his blood was flowing rapidly. He walked forward and picked up a pistol from the ground. It was left behind by several spies who were sucked out just now. He opened the pistol safety and aimed at his arm, aimed at his fingers. He pressed the trigger decisively. Bang! Clang! Immediately following the sound of the bullet being fired, there was a clanging sound like metal collision. There was a sharp pain in the fingertips. Then, there was nothing else. There was no blood or even a wound. There was no trace of gunpowder on the fingers except for the gunpowder residue. Hiss. He took a breath of cold air, and Lin Luo felt hot in his heart. In the photo studio on Hehehe Road, it was obviously a newly opened photo studio, but there were few customers here. The door was closed. In the lobby on the first floor, Monli and Guoqiu were sitting opposite each other. There was jam and a few slices of toast on the table. Guoqiu had a girlfriend, but because he was an outsider, He took her in for the warmth on New Year's Eve and sent her away overnight. No one was talking. In the huge studio, which seemed a bit empty, picking up a piece of toast, Monli absent-mindedly spread the jam on it, her eyes slightly lost in thought. Guachiyu, who was sitting in front of her, noticed it quickly. He smiled and broke the silence. No need to make so much, just the two of us. I've sent her back. The person he was talking about was naturally his girlfriend, who was hiding behind the scenes. Monli looked up at him, nodded slightly and said nothing, then she fell into a trance again. Guachiyu narrowed his eyes. Are you still thinking about what happened last night? In the plot, Guachiyu and you Monli are responsible for receiving telegrams at the mobile station, and Guachiyu also has a secret mission. It is to handle the smuggling of goods for the upper levels of the military command. Under the arrangement of Mingtai, you Monli participated in telegram reception. Therefore, Monli, who returned from the opera last night, received a telegram for the release of opium. Guachiyu tried hard to persuade Monli not to tell Mingtai about the matter. Once Mingtai finds out, the entire action station will be in chaos. It may also affect Chongqing. Therefore, seeing that she had been lost in thought, Guachiyu thought she was struggling with this matter. However, it wasn't until Guachiyu mentioned this that Monli recalled it. His expression became increasingly lonely. Mingtai allowed me to receive the telegram because he believed in me. I really don't want to lie to him. Seeing that Guachiyu was about to persuade again, she waved her hand directly. I don't want to listen to the truth, and I say I can't win against you. Tears fell, and Monli looked haggard. I never thought about a career, nor did I want to be a hero. I just want to live well and be with him. I just don't want anyone to become a victim of high-level smuggling, that's all. In the original plot, in order for Mingtai to survive, Monli actually compromised at this time. She carried this guilt with her until her death, still suffering the deepest punishment in her heart. Even because she felt guilty, she did not hesitate to call herself the female cousin to enhance Mingtai's status. The soul thus falls into the abyss. Guachiyu sighed and said nothing. He and Wang Tianfeng knew Yu Monli's life experience best. It's a lie, it's a lie. I don't want to find any excuse to beautify the scam. She closed her eyes and said, as if she had made the final decision. I still lied to Mingtai and did it again. Tuck tuck tuck. There was a sudden knock on the door. Hello, is it open now? I want to take some ID photos. Lin Luo leaned half of his body in, looked at the layout of the house, and asked at the same time. The smile was a little stiff. Modified in 11.13. Yes, this world cannot use fantasy elements. The influence of the reincarnation space needs to be weakened, and the protagonist needs to be set as an ordinary person. Official sanctions. Note, up to about chapter 62, there are a lot of brackets that appear in the middle, which are recently modified content, so it will look very strange. I can only make up for it in my head, and there will be some explanations at the end of the chapter. Chapter 42, Reincarnation in the Military Control Camp. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With powerful five senses, as soon as he approached the studio, Lin Luo heard the conversation between the two people in the room. Fortunately, he reacted in time. He was able to reach out and pull Monli back before she fell into the abyss. The two people who heard the sound exchanged glances quickly. Guachiyu stood up immediately. Hello, we are open, but it's still early now and not all people are here. Sir, please come in and sit for a while, and get ready immediately. Okay. Lin Luo nodded and walked into the studio. Monli sat with her back to the door. She wiped the tears from her face, forced a smile, and then turned to look behind her. When she saw Lin Luo's face, the smile that had just been brewing froze instantly, and Lin Luo seemed to have just discovered her. Jean. Mr. Luo. Monli raised her voice and interrupted him quickly. Mingtai didn't know the name Jins, but Guachiyu knew it very well. If he knew that he and Luo Lin had even exchanged information about Jins in private, it will inevitably arouse his suspicion. If I report to the superiors, I will be sent back to school for investigation. Then all the previous efforts will be in vain. Guachiyu, who was moving the scaffold, looked over here curiously. Monli, do you know this gentleman? Yes. Monli frowned and glanced at Lin Luo. I guess I know him. Her eyes were red and the corners of her eyes were still wet. She looked a little pitiful. Lin Luo smiled secretly in his heart. It seems that it is still difficult to capture the heroine of a copy. I have met Miss Monley once. He stepped into the photo studio. I want to take some simple ID photos. Can I start now? Of course. No. Facing Guochiyu's surprised eyes, Monley's face did not change. There are still a few apprentices who haven't arrived yet, and we can't set up the scene now. Mr. Luo, please go somewhere else. I'm really sorry. Although she was very happy last night, but she couldn't trust Lin Luo completely. She clearly saw that he was taken away by so many policemen to investigate the fireworks. How did he get out of the police station in less than a morning? It's hard not to guess whether Lorraine has a relationship with the upper class. Guoqian walked up to him quickly and whispered, Monley, what are you talking about? We use the photo studio as the base of the action team, so we can't refuse customers. Monley shook her head and didn't answer him. Lin Luo was only slightly surprised to hear that he was rejected, but what surprised him was that Monley just said that there were several apprentices in the photo studio. This is the base of the military control action team. Where did the apprentices come from? Could it be that in addition to the protagonists, there are other agents stationed here? Wait. He soon understood. Perhaps, it was because of the intervention of the reincarnation that brought a slight change to the plot. The apprentices mentioned by Monley should be the several reincarnations who chose the military control camp. I wonder if that idiot named Shiman Xiaoxue is here. It's okay. I just need to take 2 sets of ID photos. No need for makeup or background. I'm dressed in formal clothes. Just take a few photos. Lin Luo said with a smile, you run a photo studio. You don't even have a camera, do you? Yes. Guoqian didn't give Monley a chance to refuse. He stepped forward and held out his hand to Lin Luo. Mr. Luo, just follow me. Walked to a crimson curtain and sat down on a chair. Click, click, click. After adjusting the angle a few times, the photos were taken quickly, from beginning to end. Monley folded her hands and her eyes stayed on Lin Luo. When she noticed that Lin Luo was also looking here and smiled, her expression changed. The experiences of last night emerged one by one in front of her. Watching the fireworks, perming hair, horse racing and listening to opera were Monley's wishes for a long time. Only in front of Ming Tai did she have the courage to say it all, but she was rejected by Ming Tai. Instead, it was Luo Lin, who she met by chance on the road, who helped her fulfill all her wishes. Not only that, she also owns a horse of her own in the suburban horse farm. She sighed softly. The cold expression on her face finally began to melt. Mr. Luo, it's ready. Guoqiyu stood up and said, it takes some time to print the photos. If it's convenient for you, how about coming to pick up the photos in the afternoon? Okay. Lin Luo nodded casually. He didn't care about Guoqiyu anymore, and he started walking towards Monley. The two looked at each other in silence. I knew that the name you told me last night was actually a fake name, and I was almost fooled by you. Monley, Lin Luo said with a mischievous smile, hearing him call her name directly. Monley frowned subconsciously, but she didn't dislike such a name in her heart. The photos have been taken, you should go back, and come back in the afternoon. She raised her eyebrows. Anyway, your family lives across the street, and it's convenient to come. Sure enough, she still had doubts about this matter. After all, he is a military agent. Except for his love for Ming Tai, he is very vigilant in other aspects. Yes. Lin Luo followed up and said, if I didn't live close, I wouldn't have met you last night. Living on Xiafei Road is the decision I regret the least. Monley wanted to say something, but she didn't say it after all, lowered her head and remained silent again. Knock, 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 knock. Rhythmic knock suddenly sounded. Guoqiyu, who was packing up his equipment, suddenly looked towards the door. The next moment, Ming Tai, dressed in casual clothes, pushed the door open and walked in. He quickly noticed Lin Luo and Monley standing in the hall. His eyes fluctuated, but his expression did not change significantly. He said to Guoqiyu, I have contacted you for an outdoor photo shoot. Go and pack up the equipment. The subtext of this sentence is that the studio needs to be cleared. There are important tasks for the two. Guoqiyu understood and nodded to Monley. At the same time, Ming Tai also walked over here. Manli, this gentleman is a guest, right? Ha. Lin Luo stared at Ming Tai who was approaching, and said in surprise, you are not the one from last night. Lorraine. Manli suddenly interrupted, she didn't want Ming Tai to make a choice, nor did she want to embarrass Ming Tai. What she saw at the night market last night could not be told by Lorraine. Before Ming Tai approached, she pleaded on her face. Maybe I saw it wrong. Lin Luo gritted his teeth and forced a sad expression to make sure Manli could see it. Then. Manli, I'll come again in the afternoon. Lin Luo nodded and started to walk towards the door. Since they were going to talk about the task, I wouldn't disturb them anyway. Even on the rooftop, I could hear it clearly. Moreover, there was an important thing that needed to be done with the help of the rooftop. When I went out, 5 men in suits came towards me and entered the studio one by one. The doors slowly closed, seeing the backs of several people disappear. Lin Luo narrowed his eyes. These people, are those apprentices? Chapter 44, Number 76 is dispatched and the perpetrators are caught red-handed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Number 76 Intelligence Division Telecommunications Section. An intercepted intelligence piece is being deciphered intensively. Because there was no code book, the deciphering work was slow. Until noon passed, the information was finally deciphered. The poisonous scorpion landed successfully, and the action team has been created. Telegrams are sent using a public channel, and only the source is known, not the destination. Just because of the content in the intelligence, the people in the Communications and Telecommunications Department did not dare to neglect it at all. Quickly sent it to Wang Manchuan's desk. I saw the 2 big characters poisonous scorpion written on the paper. Wang Manchun felt like facing a formidable enemy. Where is the location of the radio station? Have you found it? It has been found out. The subordinate immediately replied, the signal comes from Shafei Road, which is a recently opened photo studio. The brothers have gathered and are just waiting for Director Wang's instructions. Wang Manchun frowned, then why are you standing still? Let's go. Yes. More than 20 cars set off carrying dozens of number 76 agents, driving towards Shefei Road in a mighty manner. Inside the photo studio, Hua Qian persuaded the 3 of them to sit down and have a meal. In the original plot, Manli was very resistant to Ming Tai's choice. They even drink to drown their sorrows, hoping to cover up the pain. However, with the appearance of Lin Luo and some changes in the plot, Manli did not give up on herself. During the meal, she just remained silent in the face of Ming Tai's overtures. The atmosphere at the dinner table was extremely awkward. Several people were not in the mood to eat. After a casual chat, Ming Tai stood up and packed his things. It was still the first lunar month, so he needed to live in Ming Mansion to avoid making his eldest sister Ming Jing suspicious. Team leader. Hua Qian shouted. Ming Tai waved his hand. I'm going back first, please take good care of them. Tomorrow night, there will be a banquet at the Navy Club of the Consulate. You can try to get some invitations and we can go there together. If there is a mission, I will find an opportunity to tell you. Hua Qian nodded and said, okay. After explaining this, Ming Tai looked at Manli, who was sitting quietly at the table. Seeing her still eating slowly, I sighed a little, turned around and walked towards the door. Buzz. The roar of the car suddenly sounded, surrounding the entire photo studio. Ming Tai, who had just reached the door, paused. He walked forward quickly, hid in the window and looked out. His expression changed drastically in an instant. It's number 76. After the words fell, Hua Qian quickly stood up. Why are they here? Are we exposed? Impossible. Ming Tai rejected it directly. The operation was formed only a few days ago, so it is absolutely impossible for it to be exposed so quickly. However, more and more cars were gathering on the road, almost completely blocking the intersection, and their target was the photo studio. It was too late to retreat. Lao Gua. Ming Tai shouted in a deep voice, destroy all the documents. Number 76 must not let them discover them. He looked at Manli again and said, take the radio and leave quickly, and leave through the back alley. Remember, I'm just a guest here to take pictures. I don't know you. Hua Qian and Manli did not speak and acted quickly. Destroying files is not difficult, just burn them all, but it's not that easy to transfer a station safely. Manli hugged the radio station, which was as big as a computer case, and hurried downstairs, trying to leave through the back door of the photo studio. Behind is a residential area with intricate alleys that are difficult to follow. Now I just hope that number 76 is not familiar with this place, and there is no one guarding the back door. Fortunately, the team outside the door has not yet finished gathering. It wasn't until Guaqian finished processing the documents that everyone approached the photo studio, and the sound of dense footsteps could be heard. Sudden snap. The back door was pushed open. In the horrified eyes of the three people, Lin Luo walked in. "What are you doing in your store? Why are there so many Agent 76 in front?" Did he happen to see Monli holding the radio? After pretending to be surprised, a look of understanding appeared in his eyes. Seeing Mingtai and Guaqian pulling out their guns, they wanted to greet him. Lin Luo hurriedly said, "Wait, don't get excited yet." Stopping their movements, he asked, "Which side are you from, the Kuomintang or the Communist Party?" "Who are you?" Mingtai asked sharply. Both he and Guaqian recognized that this person was the one who came to take pictures in the morning. There is reason to suspect that he brought the agents at the door. The reason why he didn't shoot was because Monli was standing in front of him. Both of them were afraid of accidentally hurting Monli. "That should be the Kuomintang." Lin Luo nodded. "Don't be nervous, I'm from the Communist Party. By the way." He looked at Mingtai and smiled. "You can ask Qing Jinyun, she may know me." Qing Jinyun. Mingtai was stunned for a moment, and his tense body suddenly relaxed, and Monli suddenly reacted. Since Lorraine knows Qing Jinyun, it means that there should be a connection between him and the Communist Party. "Then how did you come in through the back door?" Guaqian did not relax his vigilance. Lin Luo shrugged and said, "I live here. I'm familiar with the surrounding environment. If you can't get in through the front door, you can only use the back door." Monli knows all these things. Monli held the radio in her arms, turned around and nodded to the two of them. Only then did Mingtai and the others heave a sigh of relief. But the crisis is not over. While they were arguing, the man from number 76 had already reached the door and was inquiring about the environment inside the house. "No time to explain." Lin Luo stretched out his hand. "Give me the radio station." "I am sure I can keep the radio station. You all go out through the back door, wait until things calm down, and then find a way to get back." "No." Guaqian refused directly before Mingtai could speak. "The radio is the most secret thing of the operation team. Once it falls into the hands of the enemy, the consequences will be disastrous." Instead, Mingtai hesitated. He looked at Lin Luo, then turned to look at Monli, thinking silently in his heart. After pondering for a while, she said, "Monli, give him the radio station. Let's evacuate the photo studio first." Team leader. Guaqian was anxious. "No." Monli also frowned and refused. Very few people who are sent to number 76 make it out alive. If they decided that Lorraine was from the military command, he might die inside. Monli hugged the radio tightly and looked at Lin Luo with a complicated expression. Bang bang bang. There was a loud banging sound at the door, mixed with roars. "Number 76 is working on the case. People inside hurry up and open the door." Mingtai was also a little anxious. "Give him the radio station." "No." Monli still refused. "I can leave with the radio station, there is no need to involve innocent people." She took off and sprinted for the back door. At this time, Lin Luo suddenly reached out and took her arm. "I am confident that this matter can be resolved and the radio station can be returned to you intact." His tone became serious. "We don't have time, Monli, give me the radio station quickly." Obedient, Monli turned her head and met Lin Luo's stern gaze. She bit her lower lip hard and slowly stretched out her hand. Bang. The door was kicked open forcefully, and more than a dozen spies rushed in quickly. At this time, calm returned to the room. Lin Luo sat at the table, as if he didn't see the people rushing in. He picked up the teacup and took a sip of tea. On the table in front of him, there was a dark green radio. When everyone on number 76 saw the radio station, their eyes flashed. Without any explanation, they surrounded the forest. "Take it back. Report to Director Wang that both the man and the radio station have been found, and both the man and the stolen goods have been recovered. Teams 3, 4 and 7 block the intersection. Everyone else comes in and continues searching." Chapter 45. My heart is broken into many pieces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. All documents in the photo studio were destroyed. The remaining items that were not destroyed were asked to be taken away by Ming Tai and others. The agents found no more evidence. All we could do was put a hood on Lin Luo, escort him back to the car, and evacuate in a grand manner. The motorcade drove to the headquarters at number 76, Gisfield Road. Lin Luo didn't resist. With his current strength, he was completely confident of getting away from the dozens of people in front of him as long as they didn't shoot at the same time. Just, I want to get in touch with Wang Manchun and the special higher education course. Entering number 76 in person is the fastest way. The car turned into a certain compound and the motorcade slowly stopped. Suddenly, a sinister aura hit his face. Sitting in the car, Lin Luo felt a little excited. He also wanted to see how terrifying that devil's cave was that made people change their minds. He was pushed out of the car by the agents, about to go forward. Wait! A shout suddenly sounded. Everyone around him suddenly stamped his feet and shouted at the same time, Director Liang. Lin Luo was stunned for a moment, then turned to look at the place beside him. As the footsteps approached, there was the crisp sound of a walking stick hitting the ground, and it stopped in front of him. Liang Zhongchuan. Number 76 is divided into the Operations Division and the Intelligence Division. Wang Manchun is the director of the Intelligence Division, while Liang Zhongchuan is the director of the Operations Division. Logically speaking, all tasks carried out must be carried out with Liang Zhongchuan's consent, but Wang Manchun relied on the fact that he was Nantian Yoko's apprentice. He often makes his own decisions and directs the actions of his subordinates. The same is certainly true today. Through the small gap in the cloth cover, Lin Luo could clearly see everyone's actions. Liang Zhongchuan pursed his lips and glanced at Lin Luo for a long time, then he squinted his eyes and scanned the numerous agents. The two mustaches on his mouth trembled slightly. How come no one came to report today's actions to me? Why don't I go find Chief Nantian now and let Wang Manchun take over as the director of operations? What do you think? Liang Zhongchuan spoke calmly and smiled, but how dare the spies dare to answer these words? Director, please stop joking, because Director Wang said the task is urgent and he is afraid that someone will get away. Okay. Liang Zhongchuan interrupted him, then let Wang Manchun take over. It will save me trouble in the future. Director Liang, don't get me wrong. Liang Zhongchuan sneered, I have nothing to misunderstand. Although he said this, he could only complain a few words. It would be absolutely impossible for Liang Zhongchuan to really ask for resignation from Minami Yoko. How could Wang Manchun take advantage of the position of director that he finally got through? He turned to look at Lin Luo. Open. This. What? As the director of the operations division, I'm not even allowed to look at suspects, right? Liang Zhongchuan glared and shouted. Everyone reacted immediately and hurriedly took off their hoods. The moment he saw Lin Luo's face, his slightly narrowed eyes suddenly widened, and he stepped back involuntarily. Foreigner! Liang Zhongchuan exclaimed, although this man's facial features are close to Chinese, but with his blue-gray pupils and blonde hair, it can be seen that he should be from the West. Liang Zhongchuan turned his head and asked in surprise, what's going on with this man? Several agents reported. Director Wang intercepted a telegram today. I heard it was related to the military command, so he asked us to go out and arrest people. When I got there, I only saw him sitting there alone, and the radio station was also found. Are there any clues? Liang Zhongchuan asked. Everyone shook their heads at the same time. The photo studio is very clean and there are no other clues, but we brought the radio station back. You. Liang Zhongchuan hated that iron could not become steel. He was so angry that he raised his cane and wanted to beat the leader violently. Actions involving foreign forces must be reported to the Special High School Division. If a diplomatic dispute arises, how can little number 76 withstand such pressure? After thinking about it, Liang Zhongchuan sternly ordered, bring him in for questioning first. You must not be tortured until I come back. The leading agent was startled and asked, Director, where are you going? Where to go? Liang Zhongchuan glared at him, go and report to Chief Nantian. Prison number 76 is set underground. The light inside the prison was dim. the stone walls on both sides are covered with traces of bullets and stone carvings, countless dark brown blood stains almost covered the entire stone path. Along the way, Lin Luo kept turning his head to observe the layout of the prison. He didn't look like a prisoner who had been arrested. Instead, he seemed to be here for a trip, with an extremely relaxed expression. With Liang Zhongquan's instructions, the agents did not dare to torture him. After tying it to the wooden frame, several people stood in front of him and discussed what to do. Someone suggested that they go to Wang Manchun to report the matter first, and the rest of the people would ask casual questions first. Soon, everyone clearly understood the division of labor. Several figures approached the forest and sat down at a small table. "Tell me." The leader, wearing a brown jacket, said in a stiff tone, "Tell me everything you know. Very few people who enter number 76 make it out alive. To interrogate them without being tortured is simply more uncomfortable than having them castrated." Lin Luo's eyes swept over several people. No one looked familiar, they were all just young losers. He didn't bother to answer these questions. "I originally thought that I might have to endure some hardships to lure Wang Manchun to come here in person." Unexpectedly, things took a turn for the worse, and Liang Zhongquan himself came out. He even went to contact Minami Yoko himself. "It also saves me a lot of effort." "Damn, this foreign devil is so arrogant," someone shouted in a low voice. "We found the radio station. If you have any questions, just follow the previous rules. Anyway, he must be an agent. As for who he is, we won't know until we fight him." Several people said indignantly. Although Director Liang warned against execution, they knew who had the final say on number 76. "As long as things get done, with Director Wang protecting us, nothing serious will happen." Several people in front of him were whispering, and their ferocious gazes kept scanning towards Lin Luo, about to take action. Rapid footsteps sounded outside the prison, ta-ta-ta. Followed by several people, Wang Manchun quickly walked into the prison with his hands in his pockets. She was wearing a black vest, trousers, and tie. A vigorous and resolute temperament rushed over his face. Wang Manchun first looked at the agents and saw that they were holding irons and whips in their hands, but said nothing. He just tilted his head and motioned for them to go out first. The cell quickly became quiet. Pulling a chair, Wang Manchun walked to Lin Luo and sat down. "Can you understand what I'm saying?" She folded her hands on her chest and asked arrogantly, "Although this woman is ruthless, but I have to admit that she is indeed good-looking, not even inferior to Monli, only, due to the identity filter." Lin Luo's heart was broken into many pieces, and no pieces were prepared for her. This woman is so cruel that she even wants to kill her first love, Ming Lu. No one dared to sleep in the same bed as her. After a moment of silence, Lin Luo smiled. "Okay. Private words, do you understand what I'm saying?" Chapter 46 Special High Section Advisor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Luo's proficiency in the languages of the Axis powers allowed him to speak fluently. Not only that, he asked the same question in German and Italian again. Wang Manchun's expression was wonderful, from indifference at the beginning, to surprise, and then to confusion at the end. As a disciple of Minami Yoko, she could understand the Sakura language. But Wang Manchun couldn't understand a single note of the next two languages. She could only confirm that this person spoke the Sakura language very standardly. Could he be from the Sakura country? Seeing Lin Luo's appearance clearly, Wang Manchun quickly dispelled this idea. "Who are you?" she asked vigilantly. "You ask me who I am?" Lin Luo sneered. Wang Manchun softened, so he had to harden up. "Let someone catch me here, don't you know who I am?" Lin Luo said in a tough tone. "If I remember correctly, you are the famous director Wang Manchun, right? You are worthy of your reputation. My subordinates have no brains, but Director Wang has no brains either." Lin Luo narrowed his eyes. "I also want to ask you, why did you arrest me? If you don't give me a reasonable explanation, you will bear the consequences." That he said righteously. Everyone present was stunned. Since the establishment of number 76, he is the first person who can point at the director's nose and scold him here. The key is that no one really knows his identity. We only know that he has a radio. Wang Manchun reacted. He said to the person behind him, "Where is the radio you brought back? Has the telecommunications department cracked it?" "Not yet." The other party shook his head and said, the telecommunications department has tried all the code books we have now, but they have not succeeded. What's going on? Wang Manchun frowned and scolded. At this time, the tied Lin Luo interrupted and said, "Excuse me, take a look here first." After attracting everyone's attention, he asked, "If I heard you right, you want to check my radio?" "It's the same as before. If you insist on checking, you will still bear the consequences, but I can give you a hint. Why don't you try to crack the radio in German?" In the photo studio before, after Monli and the others left, Lin Luo quickly threw their radio into his backpack, then walked to the table and sat down. Before the spies were about to break in, he suddenly had an idea. He took out his radio from his backpack again, and put it directly on the table without hiding it. He did all these things to enhance his status. The current battlefield in Central Europe, the German army is invincible, suppressing the armies of all countries. As an ally of the Axis, Sakura must be headed by the Germans. As long as Minami Yoko knows of his existence, she will never let him get into trouble. At that time, even if Wang Manchun is suspicious, she can only respectfully send him away from number 76. As for the identity investigation, Lin Luo is not afraid at all. His background is completely true. But his family is in decline. Besides, Germany is a long way away. By the time the investigation results come back, he will have completed the task and returned to the reincarnation space. Moreover, he can also use this opportunity to improve Monli's favorability, all benefits without any harm. Prison number 76. Hearing Lin Luo's reminder, Wang Manchun frowned. After being puzzled, she whispered to the person next to her, "Tell the telecommunications department to try to decipher it in German. Also, report what happened here to Chief Nantian." "Director." The man hesitated. Wang Manchun narrowed his eyes and shouted coldly, "What happened? Tell me quickly." "Director, when the action team came back, they happened to be met by Chief Liang." Chief Liang had already gone ahead and reported to Chief Nantian. "What?" Wang Manchun exclaimed. She didn't bother to speak softly and quickly got up from the chair. If it were any other country, it wouldn't matter, but it happened to be Germany. As a disciple of Yoko Minamata, Wang Manchun knew better than anyone how deep the conflict of interests between the two countries was. If it weren't for Germany's containment on the western battlefield, Sakura would have been surrounded by all sides long ago, not to mention the so-called Grand Plan. If this person is really a member of the German military, then this time, he might have really made a big mistake. Wang Manchun's eyes were fixed on Lin Luo, and he kept thinking about the gains and losses in his heart. Let him go. Send him to the reception room and wait, find a few people to watch him, but don't restrict his movements. Wang Manchun quickly arranged, "I will go to report to Chief Nantian first, don't act rashly before I come back." "Yes." The subordinate bowed and agreed. Someone quickly stepped forward to untie Lin Luo's bound hands and feet. With his strong physique, he didn't feel uncomfortable after being tied for so long. Lin Luo moved his hands and feet and his expression became more relaxed. The special heist section was not far from number 76. In addition, Liang Zhongchuan is concerned about the power struggle, so he will definitely act faster. It is estimated that he should come back. Sure enough, Lin Luo just thought of these things. At the entrance of the prison, there were dense footsteps again. Liang Zhongchuan's voice came from afar, "Don't bother Director Wang, Chief Nantian has arrived." Hearing the call, Wang Manchun's expression was very ugly. Nantian Yoko, wearing a shit green military uniform, walked in with a saber. At first glance, she saw Lin Luo, who had just been untied, rubbing his wrist. Nan Tianyangzi has a square face and a heroic look. She has nothing to do with the word appearance. She walked to Wang Manchun and glared at her fiercely. "You did a good job, teacher. Call me Chief Nantian." Nan Tianyangzi shouted. "Except for the special high section, everyone goes out, including you too." Her eyes fell on Wang Manchun and Liang Zhongchuan. Liang Zhongchuan was complacent and naturally would not disobey Nan Tianyangzi. He stood respectfully and answered loudly, "Yes." Soon, the prison cell was cleared, and only more than a dozen Sakura soldiers were left guarding around, and no one dared to make a sound. Nan Tianyangzi looked at Lin Luo with a sharp gaze. "What's your name?" Her Chinese was not good, but at least she could understand it. Lin Luo smiled slightly. not shy, Lorraine Vaughn Ramos. Vaughn. You are German. Minami Yoko's face suddenly changed. 20 minutes later, under Minami Yoko's escort, Lin Luo walked out of the prison with his hands behind his back. At the door of the cell, everyone, including the two directors, was waiting anxiously. Seeing the two people appear, Wang Manchun quickly stepped forward. Chief Nantian. Minami Yoko glanced at her, her face a little cold. The conversation in the prison just now shocked her not only because of the title Vaughn, but also because of the surname Ramos. Although the Ramos family has fallen, after all, they have been field marshals, and they must have trained many students under them. Perhaps the German military leaders may have their former students. Compared with this, Wang Manchun seems less important. Minami Yoko smiled and gestured to Lin Luo, then looked at everyone. He solemnly announced, "From now on, Mr. Lorraine will officially become the Special High Section Consultant, and his status is second only to the Deputy Director. Someone from Commander Ming will go to notify you, you don't need to ask." Director Liang. Commander Nan Tian. Liang Zhongchuan responded quickly. Nan Tian Yoko nodded. Mr. Lorraine doesn't need to come to number 76 on weekdays. Many things still depend on you to take care of them. Liang Zhongchuan was delighted and stood up straight. This is my honor. The people around him had different expressions. Mr. Lorraine. Nan Tian Yoko smiled. I'll have someone take you to rest for a while. Number 76 will be your home in the future. Then I'll trouble Miss Nan Tian. Lin Luo nodded and followed the others to leave. Seeing his figure disappear, Wang Manchun finally couldn't hold it back. Teacher, that she walked quickly to Nan Tian Yoko. Who is he, and why do you trust him so much? How is the radio decoding going? Nan Tian asked back. Wang Manchun nodded. According to the German language code, it was indeed deciphered. But this cannot completely prove his identity. I know. Minami Yoko nodded. She was the only one who knew about the Ramos family, and no one else knew. Even Wang Manchun thought Lin Luo was just a German agent. The two watched Lin Luo's back from a distance. I will confirm his true identity. Nan Tian said, during this period, if there is nothing serious, don't mess with him. Even if there is a problem, you must report it to me in advance, understand? Yes. Wang Manchun gritted her teeth and agreed. Chapter 47. There is a spy in number 76. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Commander Luo, please sit down. Liang Zhongchuan smiled and arranged the sofa for him. In just one noon, his identity quickly changed from an ordinary citizen to a senior executive of number 76. Even Lin Luo did not expect this change. Of course, the so-called consultant was just a false title made up by Nan Tianyangzi, whether it was the Special High Section or number 76. He had no real power. It was okay to transfer a few younger brothers or kill a few people, but it was absolutely impossible to interfere with the operation of number 76. Director Liang, don't call me Commander Luo, just call me Luo Lin. Lin Luo smiled and sat on the sofa. Liang Zhongchuan smiled. We must obey the orders of Commander Nan Tian. But if Commander Luo is not used to it, then I will be arrogant and call you Luo Lin in the future. Okay. Lin Luo wished for it. If they meet outside in the future, Liang Zhongchuan will come up and say Commander Luo, and he will not be able to explain it to anyone. If it was just calling the name, it wouldn't be a big problem. Luo Lin. Liang Zhongchuan poured him a cup of tea. Brother, you are too arrogant, I still have a few words to remind you. He moved closer to Lin Luo and lowered his voice. We are not all in the same boat at number 76. You have seen Wang Manchun, she is the apprentice of Chief Nantian. Although you are a consultant, Chief Nantian has not given you any power. Maybe it has something to do with Wang Manchun. Lin Luo took a sip of tea, his expression slightly stiff, but he laughed in his heart. He had just stepped into number 76, and Liang Zhongchuan started to recruit a team. Although he had no idea about Wang Manchun, she was a girl after all. It's better than you, a big man. Besides, Lin Luo didn't have any idea of getting involved with number 76. His face darkened. No way, I'm a newcomer after all. it's normal that I can't compete with others. Don't be discouraged, brother, I will definitely stand on your side. Liang Zhongchuan patted his shoulder and said righteously. By the way, there is something that Director Liang really needs to help with. Lin Luo thought of something. Liang Zhongchuan's smile froze, he quickly adjusted and pretended that nothing happened. Brother Luo, just tell me, I will definitely help if I can. Lin Luo thought for a while and said, brother, you also know that I am an intelligence player. I was arrested this time, I guess it was because the information about the poison scorpion was intercepted by you, and you mistakenly thought I was the poison scorpion. Poison scorpion? Liang Zhongchuan exclaimed. Lin Luo nodded, and I also found out that there are many new people who followed the poison scorpion to the magic city. Several agents even sneaked into number 76. What? Liang Zhongchuan stood up quickly. Brother Luo, you can't say these things casually. He reacted quickly. Have you told Director Wang about this? No. It's because of Brother Liang that I'm telling you some information. Lin Luo shook his head. Liang Zhongchuan frowned and thought, can you confirm the specific identity? The identity cannot be confirmed, but I know one of their code words. What? Snowing on the West Gate. Lin Luo's eyes flashed. Since you want to play, you have to play well. It's a pity that there are too many camps in the copy, and I can only check them one by one. Let's put the Military Control Commission aside for the time being. With the relationship with Manli, he is not afraid of those reincarnations running away. As for the Communist Party and the special high-section camps, they can't get involved for the time being, and can only find a chance in the future, after calming Liang Zhongchuan down. Lin Luo made another plan for him. A large-scale search is definitely impossible. Liang Zhongchuan also wants to catch all the traitors so that he can win credit for himself, so this codeword must be circulated throughout number 76 in an inadvertent way. Whoever reacts and wants to run away, or finds out the source of the circulated codeword, then he is a traitor of the Military Control Commission. For Liang Zhongchuan, this is the best way. Even if Luo Lin said false news and no one reacted to the codeword, he would not suffer any loss, and if the traitor can be caught, his credit will be great. After chatting for a while, Lin Luo finished his tea and resigned from number 76. On the top floor of the building, Wang Manchun stood at the window, staring at Lin Luo's back, her eyes gradually cold. Find a few secret lines to follow him, don't let him find out. Where he went, who he met, and what he did in the past 2 days must be reported to me in real time. Yes. Someone in the office responded respectfully. Xiafei Road Photo Studio. The door was closed. After the agent of number 76 left, Mingtai and his men had already returned. At this time, the three were sitting in silence in the hall. Mingtai's expression seemed particularly tangled. According to his habit, if someone died because of him, he would definitely rescue them. But when he thought that the other party was Lin Luo, Mingtai hesitated again. After thinking for a long time, he sighed deeply. Everyone raise your hands to vote, whether to rescue Luo Lin. Team leader, I object. Guo Qiyu answered directly. The person who caught him is number 76, and we can't save him with just a few of us. The action station has just been established. I definitely don't agree to rescue. Mingtai glanced at him and said nothing. Manli, what's your opinion? Manli sat silently aside until Mingtai called her, then she raised her head. In fact, according to her previous personality, she also tended not to save. After all, it was almost impossible to save people from number 76. But Manli did not express her thoughts directly. It's useless for me to vote, let the team leader decide. She replied stiffly. Mingtai chose to save Qing Jinyun without hesitation, who had nothing to do with him. Faced with Lorraine who helped them through the difficulties, he hesitated instead. The double standard is really obvious. Guo Qiyu's expression was strange. He understood Manli's hint and glanced at Mingtai, and Mingtai's face froze. Now is not the time for you to talk nonsense. Why should I talk nonsense? Anyway, the radio station has been taken away by number 76. It's up to you to save it or not. Manli was not to be outdone. You. Mingtai frowned and gasped. Okay. He narrowed his eyes. The other rescue mission has not been completed yet, and we don't have enough people anyway. Then I propose not to rescue, that this is the first time Mingtai made a decision against his heart, raise your hands if you agree. Swish. He and Guo Chiyun raised their hands instantly. Manli did not move, just looked at Mingtai quietly, as if she had just met him for the first day, although she preferred not to rescue, but if there was a vote, she would raise her hand without hesitation and choose to rescue Luo Lin. Just like the team leader said before. Manli said calmly, don't worry about the rescue mission, I can handle it myself. She reached out and grabbed the gun on the table and stuffed it into her arms. Amid Mingtai's roar, she stood up and prepared to go out. Suddenly. Knock, 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 a rhythmic knock on the door sounded. Several people in the room were stunned at the same time. Without waiting for them to react, Lin Luo stretched out his hand to push open the door, holding the radio in his hand, and swaggered in. Hey, I'll return the radio to you. Remember to be safe next time. Chapter 48. It's all because the cheongsam fabric is too slippery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The three people in the studio were dazed, and couldn't believe their eyes. They were just discussing whether to rescue Luo Lin. In the blink of an eye, he appeared by himself. Moreover, he walked in with a radio in front of so many passers-by. Is this the person who was captured by number 76? He really didn't go to number 76 for tourism. Guo Chiyu hurriedly stood up, rushed to the door, and stretched out his hand to close the door. Mr. Luo, there are so many people. What do you mean by eyes? I have moved all the way, and no one has stopped me. Lin Luo was helpless. He threw the radio to Guo Chiyu. Although Wang Manchun sent people to follow him, they didn't know that the radio had been replaced long ago. The one thrown to Guo Chiyu was naturally the one from their military control. Mingtai quickly stood up and checked the radio with Guo Chiyu to see if it was damaged, and Manli just reacted at this time. The moment she saw Luo Lin, she didn't know why she suddenly felt wronged. Facing Qing Jinyun, Mingtai could go all out, even against his superior's orders, and choose to rescue the other party, but when it comes to someone else, he immediately becomes rational and calm. Manli seriously doubts, if the person who was arrested was herself, would Mingtai also have to vote before deciding whether to rescue her? Lorraine! She shouted. The grievance on her face was quickly captured by Lin Luo. While feeling sorry for Manli, he was secretly happy in his heart. He heard all the quarrels in the room just now. Even if she was arrested by number 76, Manli dared to contradict Mingtai and chose to rescue herself. This shows that the poaching action in the past 2 days has been effective. However, Mingtai's selfish behavior must be cured. Thinking of this, Lin Luo had an idea. He sighed softly, walked to Manli, and stretched out his hand to hold her in his arms. Manli was wearing a cherry pink cheongsam today, and the close-fitting material perfectly outlined her curves, although there is a little space in the chest, but the extreme waist-to-hip ratio is extremely eye-catching, not to mention pinching it. Even smelling it can prolong life. It's just that the material of the cheongsam is too slippery. Without noticing, Lin Luo's hand on her waist slid down more than 10 centimeters, until it stopped on a platform somewhere. Manli, who was held in his arms, was a little confused at first. She quickly reacted and her face turned red. Remembering that there were other people behind her, she immediately reached out and wanted to push Luo Lin away. At this time, Mingtai, who had finished the inspection, also noticed the two people hugging here. After a while, he suddenly widened his eyes. Luo Lin, a roar sounded. Before he rushed to him, Lin Luo let go of his hand and helped Manli stand up again. Facing Mingtai with an angry face, his expression was indifferent. Manli, if you are unhappy or uncomfortable, you can come to me at any time. You know where my home is. Manli, Omega, although she didn't understand what Luo Lin was saying, but the embrace just now made her feel warm from the bottom of her heart. Since her adoptive father passed away, Manli has forgotten how long she hasn't felt this kind of warmth. On the other hand, Mingtai's eyes gradually became dangerous. He glanced between the two of them. His eyes were sharp. According to the regulations of the Military Control Commission, agents are strictly prohibited from any love between men and women during their missions. In particular, Manli's shy expression at this time made Mingtai furious. He reached out and pulled her behind him. A sharp and suspicious look fell on Lin Luo. Mr. Luo, you've crossed the line. You and I are from opposing parties. If you have nothing else to do, please leave. As he spoke, he suddenly thought of something and squinted his eyes and said, "Besides, I also doubt whether Mr. Luo is a member of the Communist Party. You were captured by number 76 for such a short time, and you were able to walk out intact. Could it be that Mr. Luo is a spy planted in the Communist Party by the pseudo-government?" After the words fell, Guo Qian also reacted. The two walked forward at the same time and slowly approached Lin Luo. No one knows the horror and cruelty of number 76, if it is true as Luo Lin said, he is an agent of the Communist Party. Then how could he walk out of number 76 safely when he had the military control radio station? This matter is worth pondering. However, facing the questioning of the two, Lin Luo was unmoved. Instead, Monli couldn't bear it anymore, strode out and stretched out her hand to block Lin Luo. "What are you talking about?" She glared and roared. "Without Lorraine, the radio station of the action team will be lost today, and it may also affect the intelligence transmission of the third war zone. You actually suspect that he is a spy?" Mingtai's footsteps paused. The two checked that the radio station was indeed intact, and there was no sign of being opened. If Lorraine was a pseudo-government agent, he would not have to make such a big move. This matter is indeed inexplicable, but how could Mingtai bear this breath? Even if he is not a spy, he is also a Communist Party member. There are clear regulations in our party that prohibit any external relations with hostile parties, so, please leave, that he said righteously and directly issued an order to expel him. But Monli was speechless. She now seemed to understand why Mingtai would rather choose Qing Jinyun and not be kind to her. It turns out that the communists really have a special charm that makes people unable to extricate themselves. Monli also feels this way now. "You Monli. Don't act on impulse," Guo Qiu advised. Seeing this coldly, Lin Luo finally took action. He sneered a few times at first. He patted Monli's shoulder, signaling her to rest for a while. He took 2 steps forward and stared at Mingtai leisurely. "You keep calling him a communist. It seems that team leader Ming is very loyal to the Military Control Commission." Lin Luo sneered. "If I remember correctly, you and Qing Jinyun seem to have a good relationship. I really hope that when you face Qing Jinyun, you can also say to her so firmly, 'Please leave,'" This sentence instantly killed. Mingtai's face turned red visibly. Looking at Monli again, the aggrieved expression disappeared, and she felt indescribably happy in her heart. In the past, she had her eyes full of Mingtai and was willing to do anything for him, even if she was wronged. She didn't want to argue with him too much, however. It wasn't until now that she realized that seeing Mingtai being criticized could make her feel happy. "You." Mingtai gritted his teeth, not knowing how to refute. Time was in a hurry, and he hadn't had time to find Qing Jinyun to confirm Luo Lin's identity, and Lin Luo was too lazy to argue with him anymore. After 2 days in the dungeon, except for some progress on number 76, he didn't even complete half of the task. If he thought about poaching again, he wouldn't get the evaluation. "Monli." He called softly and patted Monli's little shoulder. This action fell into Mingtai's eyes, and he clenched his fists again. "I have something to do later. I'll go back first. There will be a banquet at the Navy Club tomorrow night. I will get the invitation letter. Let's go together then." Monli was stunned and subconsciously looked at Mingtai. The sticky and stringy eyes in the past were no longer seen at this time. Without much hesitation, Monli nodded and agreed. "Okay, then I'll wait for you." In her heart, military control, military orders, missions, and even life and death are not as important as the person she likes. However, the identity of this person she likes is quietly transferred from Mingtai. Nodding with a smile, Lin Luo turned and left. Chapter 49, Intercepting the Smuggling Ship, Great Harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Night slowly fell. As one of the 5 earliest open ports, the Magic City port was still brightly lit. Countless ships were docked at the dock. Dense figures were running back and forth between the docks. Although the port's throughput dropped sharply due to the war, but because the port is adjacent to the Yangtze River, it still has an irreplaceable position. For example, many goods that cannot be seen in the light can go upstream and go all the way to Mountain City. In the night, a rickshaw stopped outside the port, giving the driver $2. Lin Luo stepped into the port, coming out of number 76. He soon found that someone was following him. it might be someone from the special heist section, it might also be someone sent by Wang Manchun, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he didn't plan to hide his whereabouts, so it would be better to let Wang Manchun and the others know. After walking on the dock for a long time, Lin Luo finally found his target, on an ironclad ship from Nanyang. There were a total of 7 crew members, looking at the passers-by nervously. As soon as he got closer, a choking smell hit his nose. With his strong eyesight, he noticed that there were many wooden boxes piled on the deck. In many places, the tarpaulin was not completely covered, revealing large bundles of dark yellow leaves. There was also a cold light of metal shining. There were not many wooden boxes, but the draft of the ship at this time was close to the limit. Standing not far away, Lin Luo narrowed his eyes. The ship parked in front of him should be a cargo ship used by the Military Control Commission to smuggle opium and weapons. After the things were sent to the port, there will be a special person to pick them up, take the weapons and opium, and then send the corresponding gold. After the transaction is completed, the ironclad ship will return to the mountain city along the inland river. In addition, after the port customs was bribed, basically no accidents will happen, but today, Lin Luo appeared. He planned to intercept all the cargo on the ship and let those people in the mountain city feel the heartache. At the same time, if the news can be passed to number 76 and the special heist section, his suspicion can also be cleared by this, but the transaction has not started yet. After thinking about it, Lin Luo decided to wait patiently for a while and not rush to do it. He pretended to stroll around and enjoy the night view of the Magic City port. Not long after, another ship blew its whistle and slowly approached the ironclad ship. 3 big men got off the ship with headscarves on their faces. Several people exchanged secret signals with each other. Everyone returned to the cabin and worked together to move several large wooden boxes out of it. Open a gap in the wooden box. A clear yellow light suddenly illuminated their faces. Snap. The box was quickly closed. Both parties breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. According to the agreement, there are 32,000 taels of lus in the box. But the business in Nanyang has been good recently, so 8,000 taels of lus have been added, and it has not been registered yet. The few people who transported the weapons were startled, and the smiles on their faces became brighter. The fact that the 8,000 taels of gold were not registered meant that they were privately owned and they could do whatever they wanted with it. Smuggling can easily cost you your life, but the profits made countless people jealous. When everyone worked together and were about to move the weapons and opium onto another ship, suddenly footsteps sounded. Sorry, everyone. Lin Luo came over with a smile. From now on, everything on the ship belongs to me. Hearing the sound, everyone's face changed drastically. Although they were still in the port, they subconsciously took out their guns from their arms, pointed in the direction where Lin Luo was coming from. Who are you? Kill him quickly. Once the matter is exposed, we will all die. Don't shoot. It will be more troublesome to attract the police. Everyone was in chaos in an instant, but Lin Luo was still approaching step by step. There were only 10 people on the ship, and they were all holding pistols. Even if they fired at the same time, he would definitely die. Maybe I didn't make it clear. Lin Luo restrained his smile. His eyes flashed with coldness. I mean, everything on the ship. Including your lives. Swish. He flew forward, fired 3 shots. No one reacted. The 3 gunmen groaned and lost all consciousness in an instant. Although firing would attract the police, they didn't care about that anymore. Pop, pop, pop. The gunshot suddenly rang loudly. The people near the dock were attracted by the gunshots and turned their heads to look here. As agents, these people's shooting skills were naturally not bad. Many bullets hit Lin Luo's chest. A lot of blood spurted out. Lin Luo flew forward, fired. With 2 guns in succession, most of the people were killed immediately. This operation made the remaining 5 people's souls tremble. While screaming at the top of their throats, they ran in different directions separately, but Lin Luo was faster than them. He shot and killed them one by one, and it took less than half a minute for the deck to return to silence. Seeing people gathering on the dock, Lin Luo did not hesitate. He put the many boxes on the deck into his backpack. Fortunately, similar items can be stacked. He collected a total of 7 boxes of weapons, 36 boxes of opium, and 2 large boxes full of gold. According to the conversation just now, there are a total of 40,000 taels of gold here, that is 2,000 kilograms, 2 tons. There was no time to celebrate too much. he put on his hat and jumped down from the several-meter-high deck. After shaking off the few onlookers beside him, he quickly disappeared in the crowd. Lin Luo didn't breathe a sigh of relief until he left the dock. The previous 100 kilograms of gold were sold for more than 30,000 samsara coins. Now he has harvested 2 tons of gold. If he gets it in the samsara space, it is estimated that he can sell it at a sky-high price. However, after all, this thing is not a rigid demand. If it is sold too much, it will definitely depreciate rapidly in the exchange. The only thing that is highly sought after is that it can be used in the copy. Putting these aside, gold is just ordinary gold. Turn your attention to weapons and opium. There is nothing much to say about the weapons. They are all old weapons from World War II. In addition to the collection value, the power is simply touching. As for opium, it is basically useless. If it is brought to the real world, unless Lin Luo wants to die, he will never take it out, unless. Opium also has the characteristic of can be used in a copy. If he encounters a copy with a background in the 18th or 19th century, he might be able to play a reverse opium war. However, the premise of all this is that he can get an SSS level. Evaluation again. On a quiet path, several shadows followed behind him and approached him quickly, taking his attention away from the backpack. Lin Luo turned his head and looked behind him. He knew someone was following him. He guessed that it was someone from number 76, so he didn't do anything. Soon, several figures ran to Lin Luo's side and said calmly, "Captain Luo, good evening. We are from the number 76 operations department, and Director Wang wants to see you. Please come with us." Wang Manchun. Lin Luo took off his hat and glanced at the few people nonchalantly, sneered, "Director Wang is so generous that she asked me to meet her. What if I don't go?" Several agents remained calm. That's Commander Luo's freedom. But Director Wang also said that if Commander Luo doesn't go, she can't guarantee what will happen next. As the director of the intelligence department, Wang Manchun can keep so many loyal dogs in the operations department. She is quite capable. Unfortunately, Lin Luo has been rebelling recently. Oh. Okay, I get it. Then let her do whatever she wants. Bye. Waving his hand, Lin Luo turned around and left. Several agents froze and stood there at a loss, same as 11.13. Content in brackets. Chapter 50 Young Talents, Future Pillars. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The smuggling line of the Military Control Commission has always been closely watched. 40,000 taels of gold, in that era, was worth up to $20 million. It was enough to buy an aircraft carrier. The news of the missing cargo at the port was reported quickly. Countless telegrams were quickly sent from the Shanqing headquarters. The photo studio, which was the action station of the Magic City, also received relevant telegrams. After deciphering, Monli immediately informed Guaqiyu. Today, the boss flew to the Magic City from the Shanqing, and I hope the action station will be ready to pick him up at the airport. Order, the Magic City Action Group will immediately investigate the theft of the cargo, as soon as possible. Fortunately, Mingtai had returned to the Ming Mansion and did not see the telegram. In the photo studio, Monli and Guaqiyu sat in a daze, with a little fear in their eyes. Boss Dai of the Military Control Commission is actually going to come to the Magic City in person. On the other side, inside number 76, news from the port was also received. Wang Manchun sat in the office, looking at the documents on the table, her eyebrows furrowed tightly. There were several figures standing in front of her. They were the spies who had just followed Lin Luo at the port. Luo Lin went to the Magic City port and attacked a cargo ship for no reason. Have you found out the origin of the cargo ship? The subordinate nodded. Report to Director Wang, it has been found out. According to the report submitted by the customs, during the past 6 months, the cargo ship has been traveling between Shanqing and Nanyang. We speculate that the cargo ship should be related to smuggling goods from Shanqing, including weapons and opium. Shanqing. Wang Manchun widened her eyes. She had always suspected that Luo Lin was an agent sent to the Magic City by the Military Control Commission. But if he was the Military Control Commission, why did he attack the cargo ship from Shanqing? The high-level officials knew about the smuggling. Wang Manchun had also heard about it. When she first heard the report from her subordinates, she thought that Luo Lin attacked the cargo ship from Sakura. I also want to take this opportunity to make Luo Lin surrender and catch him at the same time, but I didn't expect that things would turn out like this. if this matter is reported to the special high section, Luo Lin will not only not be punished, but will probably be praised. This is what Wang Manchun doesn't want to see. Sitting in his seat and thinking, after a while, Wang Manchun looked up. Does my senior know about Luo Lin's appointment as a consultant to the special high section? That the senior brother she mentioned is the deputy director of the special commission, that is, Ming Tai's elder brother, the venomous snake, Ming Lu. Wang Manchun began to suspect Ming Lu when he just came back from abroad, suspecting that Ming Lu also joined the Shanqing side. If Ming Lu was told about this, I don't know how he would react, the subordinate replied. Chief Ming has known about this, but he just smiled and said it was a good thing, and praised the special high section for appointing people on their merits. Really? Wang Manchun smiled. She has complicated feelings for Ming Lu. Always wavering between wanting to kill everyone in the Ming family and protecting Ming Lu. After thinking for a while, Wang Manchun sorted out the investigation documents related to the port separately. Send this document to my senior brother. She ordered. Remember to report to me if you have any clues. If Ming Lu saw the document and showed an expression that he shouldn't have, then he must have some connection with Shanqing. Several subordinates certainly understood her hint and bowed to take the document. The special commission is in the city government building, not far from number 76. So, not long after, the document was placed on Ming Lu's desk, under the watchful eyes of several secret agents. Ming Lu, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, smiled, glanced at Ming Qing beside him, and slowly opened the document. Good. This Chief Luo is really a capable person in the government, both civil and military. Cheng, help me arrange a meeting with Chief Luo. I also want to see this young talent with my own eyes, the future pillar of the government. That night, many people couldn't sleep all night. It was not yet completely light. In the photo studio, Guo Qiyu came downstairs with a piece of paper in his hand. Manli. Look at this. He shouted in surprise. Manli, who was dozing on the table, was awakened by him. She sat up with sleepy eyes and took the paper from him. Guo Qiyu said at the same time, the director is coming to the Magic City too. What? Manli, who was still sleepy just now, was instantly alert after hearing this. She stood up and looked at the content on the paper. Poison Bee, arrive in the Magic City soon. These 8 short words were like 8 bullets, instantly shooting into Manli's chest. Just seeing this name, she couldn't help but recall the painful years before she entered the military academy, and the fear of Wang Tianfeng in the military academy. Why would the teacher come to the Magic City? Is there only this telegram? Did the teacher tell you anything else? No. Guo Qiyu shook his head. His expression was also painful. If Wang Tianfeng came to Shanghai, it meant that he would also separate from his girlfriend. At least, in the short term, the two of them must not have any contact. It's probably what happened last night. Guo Qiyu said, the boss is here, and the director may have to come in person. In fact, Guo Qiyu had known about the death spy plan a long time ago. Because of the regulations, he never mentioned it to Ming Tai and the others. He also wondered in his heart whether Wang Tianfeng came this time to start the death spy plan in advance. Manli's face turned pale. In the past, she only had the courage to face Wang Tianfeng when she was with Ming Tai, but now, another figure appeared in her mind, Lorraine. Is there any progress on the dock? Manli asked absent-mindedly. Guo Qiyu shook his head. We sent a few people to investigate, but number 76 has blocked the docks, and there is no news for the time being. What should we do then? After thinking for a long time, Guo Qiyu sighed and said, let's call the team leader back to discuss first. But Manli frowned. Didn't I say before that Ming Tai should not know about the smuggling? Guo Qiyu looked at her in surprise. She was still fighting for this matter 2 days ago. Why is she so attentive today? Women really change. We cannot talk about smuggling, just say that the director is coming to the Magic City. Guo Qiyu said, you take a rest first, I will inform the team leader. As he said, he got up and left the photo studio. Manli sat at the table, looking at the telegram on the table, lost in thought. When the sun rose, Lin Luo also woke up from the bed. In order to keep an eye on the photo studio opposite, he deliberately moved the bedroom to the shaded direction, close to the window. The attack on the smuggling ship last night was not just to rob things, but also for other purposes. when he saw Ming Tai and Gua Qian walking into the photo studio one after another. He squinted and chuckled a few times, stretching. Lin Luo got up from the bed. After washing and dressing slowly, he got dressed. When he walked out of the gate of the foreign building, the familiar feeling of being watched came again, turned his head and glanced casually. He didn't care and walked towards the photo studio.